What's up?
Hi.
What's up?
Awesome. Very good. Well, here we are. Welcome back to episode 2. Now, Joe and I are now in different states. We're not by the pool anymore. It's not sunny and exciting. We're in our homes.
Yeah,
So,
it's
very
definitely
good.
not as beautiful as it was, right?
No. But
But we,
so yeah, welcome back to the podcast. We don't really have a name for it yet, so we'll, I guess, just kind of roll with it. What's been going on with you, Joe?
since I saw you guys last in Florida, I was with Helmer recording yesterday. We just recorded a track called "When All Else Fails." That is to air on July 4th coming up. It's this is all done very quickly, shotgun, and it's coming July 4th. So that Helmer song is recorded. Elvin, the vocalist, came in and he's laying vocal tracks as we speak. Probably, it's happening very quickly, and it's we're very excited about it. All the guys in Helmer are very excited about it. I got a lot going on, Stevie. It's very busy over on this end. It's just been busy, very busy last 2 weeks. I made a lot of phone calls to members from DTA, and everybody's consented to a
Right on,
reunion.
right on.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. We're everybody's psyched up. There's both vocalists, the original vocalist and the second vocalist. The original vocalist that was on the NVIDIA CD is back, and he wants to do some things. And Dave, our second vocalist, both our vocalists, period, are back, and we're excited about that. I spoke to the members from Necrophile, which was the very first band I was ever in from back in high school. Back in even less. I was 17 years old when that band was formed. So we're talking about doing a little reunion thing. I might be doing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna see if I can whip up a little soiree at one of the local Jersey haunts here and try to put a package together of all the bands that I played in that I loved. The funnest thing, I guess, the best projects that I was ever in. And any projects that I was ever in. If they want to come forward, we'll put them all up there. It's just try to get a night together of fun. On other fronts, I got the Eat Lead stuff is rocking and rolling. We're going to be playing. This day. Hey, lad. We're going to be doing. Hang on a second. I'm just logging into my phone here. Eventually, I'll buy a clipboard, and we're going to do this a little bit more professionally. Right now, I'm just jumping into the phone here to get the information for the first show, and that would be that's going to be this Sunday.
Very cool. How exciting!
Yeah, this is going to be at St. Vitus in Brooklyn, New York, and it is Sunday the 17th. It's Eat Lead, a band called Sex Scenes from I think it's Wisconsin.
Oh, cool.
And who's the third band? It says Dog. I don't know. I don't know if there's. It says it right there. It says Dog. I'm not sure if there's more to that name. If there is, hopefully I'm not offending anyone.
Either that, or maybe it's just a dog that's going to come out onto the stage.
Right. Hopefully it's not a big dog and I don't get bit. You know what I mean? Because I have no idea who that is, but I am happy to be playing with both bands.
Man, that sounds exciting. If it is a metal singing like golden retriever or some shit, you got to get it on camera.
Right. So if anybody out here listening has a conception of what is a metal dog, right? All right. So send that in to us and let us know what the metal
please. What is exactly a dog at a metal concert? I'd like to know. No offense meant for that band. If their name is just Dog, then cool. I'd like to know the story behind it.
I'm looking again here just to see how off base, because I've been known to miss things here and there. That was a screenshot, so eventually I'll post the information is posted on my Facebook page now. So
Hey, awesome. Yeah, go check out Joe's Facebook page, everybody. He's a busy dude, got a lot going on, really exciting stuff. Speaking of a lot going on, it took us, it's 6:47 Central Time, so it took us like almost an hour to figure this shit out.
We got it. We got this together.
We got it.
This is all Stevie. Stevie did this. She's a brain child, this one. She's got the intelligent end of the stick here. I'm just along for creature comfort. And, I'm on the back end of the thing here because you're driving.
It's all good. It's all good. It's your YouTube channel, so whatever. No, big shout out to my friend Bree, who tried to help me figure out like this like API ridiculous third party thing I was trying to do earlier today, and then she's like, "Why don't you just use Google Hangouts?" And I was like, "Wow, I feel like a complete moron." So thank you.
Oh, you're not. Hi, Bree. Well, big shout out to Bree.
So anyway, I've got actually. We do have to make this podcast short, so I'm probably going to get out of here in like about 15 minutes. But the reason why is because I'm going to check out a new horror movie coming out, or it came out Friday, called Hereditary. Stars Gabriel Byrne and Toni Collette. Looks sick. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for it, Joe, but it is looking pretty creepy.
It looks sick.
I'm not real big into like ghost stuff or like haunting things like that, but
it looks good.
Yeah, it does look good. The story is very vague. I didn't look too deep into it because I didn't want to spoil myself on it. So haven't really. I'm just kind of going into it with like very medium expectations, and I'm hoping it pleasantly surprises me. A lot of the times when you have like theatrical releases, you kind of get bummed out because they're not as good, in my opinion, as like indie stuff is typically. But excited on that, and stay tuned this week. New reviews going up from the horror show team, only on Horror Metal Sounds. So big ups to my team over there. Hey to the HMS crew. Cool announcement. Yes, and my review of Hereditary will be in this next round. But and thanks to Robin, because she had originally called that review, but I like enabled her into letting me cover it. So thanks, Robin. But very exciting stuff that Joe and I have to tell everybody. Basically, and obviously no one knows we are live right now, so we're like at 0 viewers right now. But in the future, we will schedule this a little bit better. We just wanted to get content out to you guys to make sure you knew we're still here. We're still making this thing happen. Basically, HMS, we are going to be their podcast. So this is going to be the Horror Metal Sounds podcast for all you guys, covering everything you love about horror, everything you love about music and metal, all types of metal and all types of horror. And, big shout to Ken and Rich for getting on board with this. Joe's so excited to be part of HMS and getting this thing off the ground.
Very excited to be here. Thanks, guys, for the all the help and the props and stuff. And we're really psyched to be here. Steve and I have been talking about doing something crazy for a while, and here it is.
It was since your interview last year,
That was cool. Yeah, that was amazing to come down. The first time that Steve and I actually met, we did an interview for the web scene, and that was awesome, man. And the guys over there were very supportive. I was very, very honored to be part of that, and to be able to be asked to do that was an honor. So from there, it was just we sat down for 40 minutes, and it turned into like an hour and change, and we were just rambling and drinking coffee and a couple of beers, and
dude, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was so much fun, and it was so natural that we the rapport was priceless, and here we are on a live thing now.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's right. This is awesome shit.
Really so
quick question.
Yes.
Stevie is an amazing horror writer, and first and foremost, and people need to know that she is absolutely an affluent writer and amazing. she's got her own published works out. And if you don't know what they are, you better get to the store and check out the Breadwinner trilogy and a bunch of other Stevie Copas books or else. So get your butts to the store. No, she's rock. You rock, Stevie. That's awesome shit. And can we curse here? I think we, yeah. G-rated or no?
Until somebody tells me not to, I'm going to. So.
All right. Well, it's awesome poop. For now, we'll just leave it at that.
Here we go. Here we go. Here's a perfect example of why I can curse.
I'm coming to your wife from New Jersey, and she was a New Jersey native. Yep, you're a New Jersey native. You can't take it out of you. Once it's in you, we say words like coffee.
Yeah, right? I think my first word out of my mouth was the F word. I don't even know where mama or dad was my first word. So, oh well.
Right. That's a requisite. That's a requisite for living in this state. I mean, you got to know the first word is fuck, and the second word is you, right? So that's usually how that rolls. All right. So my question, Stevie, for you as a horror writer is, how different of a take was a movie like A House in the Woods as opposed to most of the stuff that's out there now? It was like, to me, it was a fresher approach. Did you see it that way?
Are you talking about Cabin in the Woods?
A House in the Woods? I think it was
Cabin in the Woods, right?
Cabin in the Woods. Cabin in the Woods. That's it.
That was like house. I don't think I saw that one. There's lots of houses in the woods, and we're talking like evil dead and shit like that. But no, Cabin in the Woods is actually one of my favorite horror movies, and I know that maybe sounds like
I did not know that
shitty or corny, but have you ever watched anything else from Joss Whedon? Like, he did the Firefly, and he did Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and right. What was the whatever the movie? Oh, Serenity, the Firefly.
Yep.
So like, I'm a big Whedon fan, and for Cabin in the Woods was very just. To me, it was supposed to be corny. I think it's a big throwback to other. It knows it's not original. It's right. Not a film that was supposed to be super serious or anything like that. I mean, shit, it even had, if you haven't seen it, too bad. I don't care about spoiling it for anybody that's watching this because the film's been out for years. So, like Sigourney Weaver even makes a cameo in it, and she's the horror queen. From the Alien franchise. If you don't know who Ellen Ripley is, get out of my face. But like Cabin in the Woods, to me, I think I enjoyed it so much because it didn't feel forced to me. Plus, Chris Hemsworth is really pretty, so I like to look at him. And there was funny dialogue. It was a good story. I liked all the monsters that they created. I liked the idea that all of our monsters from our nightmares and folklore, there's a purpose to them. So I really enjoyed that. And then plus, you have the dark comedy of all these pencil pushers working in a facility torturing people for fun.
Right.
What's not to love about that?
Right.
So that's my thoughts on Cabin in the Woods.
I had no idea that was one of your favorite movies, because that was actually one of mine. And when I was watching it, it really hit me the first time I saw it, because I watched it multiple times. And the first time I watched it, I'm going through and I'm thinking, man, the storyline and the approach is so much different than what's been out there. And I wonder how much that's going to change the horror industry in general. Do you think that's going to have a big impact and open and expand the horizons a bit, or do you think people are just going to stay?
As far as like since the movie came out a couple of years ago, I think that maybe it opened doors to try to bring back like creature features and monster films. Like
Creature Feature was awesome. Chill Theater.
I think it would be great. I mean, supposedly, Creature from the Black Lagoon is getting a remake,
wow.
Which I'd like to see that. But then over the past several years since Cabin in the Woods has been out with the whole focus on monsters, who knows? Because it was such a I don't want to say like a hit on a big level, but I want to say maybe it was more of a cult hit for like fans of a very specific genre and people who did enjoy the film. Look at all the remakes and the monster films that have come out. Even like non-horror movies that are more sci-fi, like the Pacific Rim
Right.
stuff. Like monsters have kind of come back into the spotlight a little bit. Even with Del Toro's release last year, with the name escapes me right now. I can't believe I'm ashamed. The man won awards for it, and I can't even think about it. But
We're pressed for time. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. So, but like even with stuff like that, monsters are kind of coming into the spotlight. And going forward, like I said, I would love to see like a lot of the old classic movie monsters make a comeback. I think that would be a lot of fun.
That would be a lot of fun. I mean, I was a huge fan back in the day, of Bela Lugosi and the original Monster Pack, and you don't see that type of stuff in the theaters so much anymore, and it was a little disheartening because everybody seemed to be stuck on a wheel in the movies. Every movie was looking a little more and more like every other movie, and every now and again you'd have this standout, and that was definitely one of the standouts for me. It was definitely. I'm not used to having a story here either.
You gotta get if I knew you were wearing headphones, I would have been cool and went and put my headphones on, but they're dead right now. You got to get the wireless ones.
Well, these are actually wireless headphones. These are actually, I'll show you real quick. Where's the camera? I don't know if I can see these. These are my Bose. I don't know if we're pushing for an endorsement here from. No, kidding. I'm kidding. We're not pushing for an endorsement from Bose. It's a joke. But these are Bose. Now, the thing about these, I won't be able to hear you for a second, Stevie. So what I'm going to do is just real quick. You can take the wire out, and I'm going to have a hell of a time putting that back in without taking these off. And I'm just going to do that so I don't look like an idiot completely. So I can keep talking while I do that, because that's what I do. I just keep talking anyway. But there, now I got the wire back in. I'll be able to hear. They are absolutely wireless headphones, and I love these things. Yeah, they were a gift from.
The laptop doesn't do Bluetooth then?
Yeah, well, the laptop that I'm on right now is running Windows 10, and for some reason, I'm not able to get Bluetooth for that type of a setup for headphones.
Don't get me into Windows 10 in my 3-hour frustration with it today. I'm over it.
Yeah. My wife is Chrissy is very slowly turning to Apple. I can see it happening. It's just like she's turning, it's like a very slow Stephen King book, like Tommy Knockers. The change is happening, and let's get married. Hopefully she stays close.
She might be a character from a Stephen King book. I did grow up with her, so she's a little scary. So.
Hopefully we stay droid people here, because everything else in my end is droid stuff. And in the coming weeks, though, we're definitely going to absolutely talk about Stevie's work here. She's an amazing author, people. Please check her books out. I'm imploring you. You're awesome. You rock. The books are online. Hit me, hit Stevie, hit somebody, find them. Go to Barnes & Noble and shake them up and say, I want that book. And tell them you're from Jersey, and things happen quick. When they know you're from Jersey, everything changes quick, right? I want to get on it right now, right? All right.
One quick thing I did want to bring up, though, while we're on the topic of, you said my wife, and it reminded me, and then bringing up the music thing, just this past, I want to say last week, As I Lay Dying released music for the first time in over 5 years. I think their last album was 2012-ish.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts, being that Tim Lambesis, he was found guilty of, I think he was an undercover cop posing as a hitman. He basically hired him to kill his wife. That's why when you said my wife, it reminded me of this.
I'm not planning anything even remotely like that.
No. But there
She
you
can
go.
have an iPad if she wants one. I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna none of that stuff. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just trying to get your thoughts on, since you're in a band currently. What are your thoughts on, let's say lead singer of a band that you've been in for 15, 20 years, however long, goes to jail with,
Oh.
in intent to murder or conspiracy or whatever the charges were. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that person coming out, getting out of jail, reconciling with this person? What would you do in a situation like that?
All right. So I first want to say that when you are in a band together with guys, obviously, and people, women, men, whatever, it's a very intimate bond. When you share music back and forth, it's a very intimate bond, and you grow on each other, and you don't even realize it, And the years go by sometimes quickly, and you find yourself in a position where you've been around each other in that atmosphere and that sharing and give and take atmosphere for so long that you know each other better than most people, and
Right.
to have something like that happen behind the scenes and not know that you're in the room with somebody that's like that is it's frightening, but at the same time, unless you're in that position, and I'm trying to place myself there and think how I would be if, let's say, Jimmy, my guitar player Jimmy, walked in. Not that Jimmy would do this, Jimmy, if you're listening, I love you. But if, let's say, he robbed a bank and got caught and whatever, something like that is, I guess, tolerable within limits.
Yeah, as opposed to, here, I'll give you money to kill my wife.
Right. Yeah. That's serious. Serious. That's but well, it raises, there's a fine line between moral and immoral. And
yeah,
I am a fan of that band.
Yeah.
I have been forever. And you don't know what happens behind closed doors. You know what I mean? It's like you're not there. You don't know exactly what goes on. And unless you know it, unless I know the full story, I'm not going to pass judgment on anyone.
Same. Like, I'm not going to pass judgment on it either. Like you said, unless you're there.
Right.
Oops, I just got a notification that my battery's low.
Right.
My chargers. Anyway, so when you don't know the situation, you can't pass judgment. Do I think it's a little bit? I'm not an expert. I'm not in law. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a freaking nobody that really should be speaking about something like this. But my opinion, he didn't kill anyone.
Right.
He gave someone money and really wanted it to happen. For God's
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. It's just that's shocking.
Dude, there are way worse criminals out there. There are fucking way worse, really evil people that I think Tim Lambesis is the least of my concerns.
There are. No question. I agree.
Yeah. So, I'm just, if you were in that situation, and
Uh-oh. Did I lose you? I think we may have just lost Stevie. Yeah. I'm going to give you a minute. I'll give her a minute to come back here. Let's see. Oh, hang on, folks. Stevie? Hey, I'm going to put you're on speaker. Hello.
Okay, perfect. As long as we don't lose it. My computer did die. I can't believe it.
That's all right. I'm still on the feed. I still got the live feed going.
Awesome.
You're right here next to the mic. You're right here next to the microphone. Go.
All right, awesome. So anyway, sorry for that little hiccup, guys. I'm still here. I had quick thinking, got my cell phone But anyway, so my last question for Joe basically was just if he was in that situation, and somebody he'd been in a band with for 20 years, would you, yes or no, make music with that person again?
No, probably not. I would say I'm gonna say no.
All right. I was just very curious on what your what your take on that was and everything, and I liked your answers. It was great.
Thank you. Yeah, likewise. I mean, it's such a hard call to make, and I don't want to jump the gun and answer one way or the other. My initial reaction would be no.
Right.
You
and
know,
again, like you said, you're not in the situation, so you never know.
Right. What happens if I piss somebody off like that? I mean, it's like I mean, is there something planted under my car when I go? You know what I mean? Go from rehearsal.
Oh, for sure.
You know.
Actually happen, if you have the capability to conspire and pay someone, to kill the mother of your children, that's a little harsh. But like I said, I'm not passing judgment on the guy. I don't know him personally. I like his music. It's not my business. That's all I'll say, really.
Yeah, I agree. I'm in the same position, and maybe at one point we can open up the doors for people to come in and give us their thoughts on it. Maybe we could do eventually a phone call in where we'll set up a phone number and have people call the show and give us their take on things as well.
For sure. Once we have this thing up and running, and we can get the word out and get things scheduled to where we have live viewers and everything like that.
Right.
I think things will really start making more sense. They'll be more fluid.
Yeah.
And everything like that. It's about 7:10 my time.
Right.
So I hate to cut things short. I could really go on for another hour.
Yeah.
I swear.
That was a juicy topic. I mean, you hit pay dirt there. That's like, that's a big topic. I mean, really, and I think that this show is going to be based on tabling some of the harder topics, and I'm totally cool with that.
Oh, for sure, especially current events and everything like that.
Yep.
But, basically, in closing, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. I hope everyone can hear me okay on speakerphone.
I think they can. I think that you're going. Go ahead.
Awesome. Just check us out. Follow Joe and I, Instagram, Twitter, and everything like that. You know where to find us. HorrorMetalSounds.com for all your one-stop shop horror and metal needs. And stay tuned. I'm not on Facebook anymore, but Joe is, and Joe will be posting. Also, Horror Metal Sounds will post when our next episode will be, and Facebook.com/The Breadwinner Trilogy. I do still manage that page, even though I don't have a Facebook. So I will also be posting all of our podcast stuff there, as well as on Twitter. And Joe, do you have any closing words?
Yeah, I want to thank the guys over at the station for having the opportunity to do this with you guys. I'm absolutely blown away that anybody would want to hear me ramble any more than I already do. I want to thank you, Stevie, for being a part and letting me be a part. Moreover, putting up with me and my big yapping mouth. I'm usually. Oh yeah, we always have a good time. The rapport is just awesome. I'm real excited to be doing this. Something I've always wanted to do, and I'm going to shut up because you're pressed for time. And I'll talk for like 3 days. I'm going to save some for the next episode. Please check out the Eat Lead stuff. It's on my page. Check out the DTA stuff. That's on my page. The Helmer stuff. That's on my page. Necrophile stuff will be on my page. And there'll be pages for the page. So we're going to do pages. There's going to be pages everywhere. I'm going to have so many pages. I'm going to be an author, right? No.
Right, exactly.
So with that, I guess Stephen and I would love to thank everybody for coming up here. Stevie was smart enough to pull this whole thing together with the internet and with the phone thing that I'm showing you here, because she was smart enough to do this. Stevie, you'll see the end of this thing, and you'll see my hands. I'm going a mile a minute because I'm Italian, and yeah. All right, so I guess we're going to see everybody next podcast, and just thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Please make sure you come back and listen again, because these things are coming fast and furious probably now, and they're going to be, the wheel's going to grow as we move forward here. So please check it all out. thank you so much again. I guess from Stevie and I, we want to bid you a fond farewell and have a great evening.
Yeah.
Okay.